Okay, so it has been another week. Today is technically January 15th, 2018, but it's almost 1 in the morning. What happened in this past week? And where am I this week? Well, last week I had my first week of classes in the new semester, so that was something new. And I found out the Introduction to Controls class that I'd signed up for was not nearly as graduate level appropriate as I had thought. I found out from the professor, who had tried to send everyone an email sooner, that if you have an engineering background already, which I do, and you've taken a controls class before, I've taken several, then the material would likely be much, much too basic for you. And based on what I was seeing in class 1, it was. So I had an urgent need to change classes into something else, but I did manage to get into a different class. I transferred into a class on waves and optics, and it's an exciting class in part because it already has homework. It's going to be due on Tuesday. Looking at the schedule, it looks like our homework will usually be due on Monday, even though it's a Tuesday-Thursday class. So the homework is assigned on Thursday and then due on Monday, which gives us the weekend to work on it. But if I only had a Tuesday-Thursday parking pass, which would have been reasonable if I'd gotten the Tuesday-Thursday schedule I wanted, then I would have had a very difficult time turning in my homework on time. So that's whatever. I sent off my FE paperwork, well, my EI paperwork. I took the FE exam to be able to qualify to become an EI, although I am not one yet as of the making of this video, but I'm waiting to hear back on that paperwork. So that is finally sort of kind of done. The other big thing that I did, I took a small vacation this weekend. Part of me thinks maybe I was irresponsible, but I've got to rest at some point. I know I technically just had Christmas break, but this was originally planned over that break. And more importantly, over Christmas break, I didn't actually get a lot of break because I was helping my mother, I was doing other stuff. Yeah, I had some fun doing it. So I'm not going to pretend I didn't enjoy the ballet, but my mother can sometimes be stressful because our personalities don't always mesh well. And so, anyway, after Ichiban Con, I feel much, much, much better. And I found out that I had already pre-purchased my, badge. So that was good. I also had a wonderful time while I was there. I went to a few panels. Most of what I did was the IchiLARP, but that was only Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and it wasn't 100% of the time. So I remember I went to a Noragami panel. Noragami is a series that talks a lot about religious, but it focuses more on like Shinto and Buddhist traditions. Of course, it's fiction. It's about a minor kami who's trying to become a more important kami and get at least one shrine. But it was interesting to read about. And then, of course, I spent a lot of time at the IchiLARP. I played a new character. Our theme this year was time travel, and I considered a few different characters. I considered Hinamori Amu from Shugokara because I'd been kind of thinking I might want to play her. The problem was that there wasn't any particular reason that she would be the time traveler kind of character, and there wasn't, any compelling reason to do her. Then I considered a couple of other characters, most of them time travel themed, but that seemed like the min-maxer's choice. There weren't any that I felt really interested and invested in. It's just that would have been a powerful or interesting choice in theme, but it wasn't what I wanted to do, so I wound up playing Ahiru-chan from Princess Tutu. She is a little ballerina girl, and as it turns out, she's also a pacifist, which meant I had some very interesting interactions. Princess Tutu's series has a lot of themes of changing destiny and altering fate and not necessarily going according to plan. And so that still fit within the structure of time travel, especially considering how many of the other characters had plans that they were trying to put into motion. But Princess Tutu was kind of like a wrecking ball, but if you've ever seen the series, that's not out of character for her at all. It was huge for me. I very much needed it though, and I feel a lot better. I had been very angry, like before the convention. I'd been so frustrated trying to get my schedule set and frustrated with classes and of course money because I hadn't got my money yet. I had my money, but I spent a substantial chunk of it on paying off life expenses and that sort of thing. So now, anyway, at this point, looking forward, I have a homework assignment that's due Tuesday that I mentioned. I don't really know what else I have to do this week. Just one little homework assignment. That feels like almost nothing, but you know, sometimes I just have to list out my problems and then they feel like nothing. So I'm like, well, that's a checklist and I can do that. Maybe I should do that more often.